our team. I've wanted to do this for forever. I finally have it together. I'm so excited. Okay, there's more to us than just Facebook and a website. So I wanted you to know what was going on. So I have a little outline of how this works being in the team and what is available to you by being in this team. The first thing we have is a website. We have a team website where everyone has access to resources and help, and all you have to do is register for the website so you have a login and password. It's very easy to do. Because we do password protect these pages because there's value in these pages, and we don't want it being free for everybody in the world to have. So it's just our team's access. And then we have, I have narrowed it down to 3 Facebook groups. So our VIP group is for customers and product users and team members. It doesn't matter if you're a wellness advocate or a wholesale customer, it's just for everyone. This is where we have the tips and tricks and protocols and conversations about testimonials and experiences and questions and values that we can bring into that group. So I'll be starting this year to have a lot more like daily tips and recipes and things like that going on there. In the builders group, that's where our builders meet. That's the building conversation going on there. We'll have some trainings and things and more access. I'll show you more about that in a minute. And then of course the events group, which is all the events going on, whether it's a Facebook event or whether it's an online class or a webinar or a promotion going on or something like that, everything's going to be fed into that. I have opened this group to everyone so that publicly, so everybody can benefit from this information. So this is a place where you want to bring your investigators or prospects who have questions about doTERRA, have them come here where they can learn some good information. The VIP and the builders groups, these are exclusive groups for team members only. So those that have enrolled into this, your teams can come into this group and benefit from the nurturing that we give there. But this one is for everyone.
Now, just on the topic of the EO method builders, what we'd like to see that everyone's doing, and I'm sure a lot of you are doing this anyway, is that we'd like you to take your power of 3 leaders and whichever part of your structure that is, and make sure that you're having at least weekly calls or weekly meetings with them. So that goes all the way down through your team. So Marianne, your 3 leaders, and then those 3 people would have their 3 people, and go all the way down through your team. Still reach out to the sparks in your team, those people who are dynamic and want to build the business. But you'll find that all the way through your team, from top to bottom, if you are and they are actually having weekly meetings or phone calls with your 3 key specific leaders, your team will just skyrocket. It'll just go exponential, and that is key critical. And then everyone's kept informed. So 3 here, 3 here, 3 here. It's exactly following the same structure as the power of 3. And you can imagine that replicating 3, then 9, then 27, all the way through. You know that all those 27 people are getting a weekly contact with their leader above. And that leader's only objective is to speak to those 3 people, key 3 people in their team. If that happens, Marianne, for instance, your team would just grow again, double so fast. Sorry, Karen.
Okay, which reminded me I didn't add that in there. So there you go. And every month, we're going to be doing this regularly every month. So our team, this will be our team training, team conversation roundtable. We're going to do this the first Sunday of every month. It's just the best day that I can find that the most people can be present. So if you will set aside the first Sunday of the month at this time, we will do our team Zooms at that time. Every month, so rain or shine. Okay, Karen, so let me introduce you to our website. I have revamped it. If you haven't been there, it looks a little bit different in a while. Anyway, so I want you to notice, my arrows got moved. Pay attention to the red arrows. There's a lot of them coming up. When you come to the website, this is the main page that you're going to see. Okay, there's more below it, but this is like the main thing. And these are the menu items. So on the welcome page, that welcome is the home page. There's 4 items that you're going to need to do. Okay, the first is to register or log in to the website. And then you're going to read the welcome to the team message. There's steps. There's 9 steps in that welcome message that will help you orient and find all the resources in this website. And then the last step will be to join the events group. And they've got links up here, and I've got links in the messages also. And you'll notice here I've added this translation here, and this just means I will be translating the pages. So it'll look, if I go further, it'll look a little bit like this. So if you click on this button down here, it's going to pull this pop-up menu where you can find your language and click on it, and it will translate the same page into your language. Now, I'm just beginning to do this. I only have a few pages done, so it will take me some time to get to it. So if you don't see your pages or all of the pages in your language, don't worry, just keep checking back because I'm updating them constantly. There's a lot of pages to translate, and I have to translate every blog post as well. So it's a lot of work, but so that's my goal, is to have that done so it will be user-friendly for everybody. It will be my translation, so it will be imperfect. So, so bear with that, but it will at least give you the gist of what's going on in the page. And as we find the time and can work together, we can update those so that they are a little bit more logically, semantically put together, I guess. So it makes more sense. Okay, so your number 1 here, your number 1 step is to register. You register through this link here, or you can do it on the side menu here as well. You can read the welcome message. Number 3, you're going to complete all the steps in the message, which I'll show you in a moment. And then you can join the events group from here or from this number as well. I also have a messenger chat. So if you have questions on anything, you can messenger me easily from here as well. And this is what the message looks like. So you just complete these 9 steps. It is, see if I can make it a little bit bigger so I can see it. Well, the number 1 thing is to register. You want to make sure that you register with your same name and email that you use on your doTERRA account so that I can find you and not get confused. If you're registered as your business name on doTERRA, use your business name here so that I can find you easily in the doTERRA list. Then we have the step 2, find the team blog, the VIP group. I will show you a little bit about the groups. You're going to go into the units, lessons in the group. There's FAQ pages here on the website. Learn about the LRP Club. Request a consultation if you want one. Get to know the Builders blog and what's available there. There's a team portal, which I'll show you in a moment too, and then a Silver Club portal as well. So when you're logging into the website, you're going to have this option here. So it looks like this. And if you click on register, this is what it looks like if you're going to register. You just put in your name and password and you register, and then I approve it. And then if you're going to log in, you got to click on login. You see how it's kind of grayed out. So if I click on login, it looks like that. And then you just put in your login and password. So it looks a little bit confusing if you don't realize that you need to click on these things to choose register or login. It looks like we have a question. Is LRP Club still going on? Yes, Linda, let's talk about that though, before we make decisions, before we, don't let me forget to talk about it is what I'm trying to say, but we'll bring it up in a moment. After you log in, this is what you get, this pop-up window. It looks like this, and you have like this huge list of pages you now have access to that you can scroll through. You can scroll through the list and select the page that you want, or for me, it's just easy to close this window and go back to my menu up here and choose from up here. So that's my suggestion, but you can work it the way you want to. The events group. So when you click on logging into over here to the events, or from here, it'll take you to this page where you can register to have updates for what's coming up in the group. And this is nice. You just get an email alert that says, hey, Master Your Metabolism is coming up on these dates, and you get just some nice email alerts, or a text alert if you want to put your phone number in there as well. So that's an option as well if you want to do that, or to stay informed. Okay, so this is the menu. Let's go to the team blog. This is what the team blog looks like. And you have on the side here the topics. So you can see the topics. So the team blog, this is basically all of the online webinars and classes and things, the recordings that I do that are compliant, I post here. So I have, you know, lots of good education. So this is where, like if I'm going to do this, intro to oils class on the 17th. So I'll record that. That will be posted here so it has a place to live so that you can find it and not get lost in the Facebook groups with it also. But the recordings will live on this blog here. So, oops. Okay, so you could, so scroll through the topics, but you have to come down, it's the menu on the right hand of the blog. Okay, then we could go to the Builders blog. That's here. So Builders blog is all of our training, Builders training. I have a checklist here. So you want to go through this Builders checklist because there's really good resources for builders here. And then we have training topics as well. In the training topics, I have the Builders FAQs, which if you've been on the Facebook group, it's there also in the units section. So it's in two places because not everybody is on Facebook. So we wanted it to be available in both places. But this checklist, this is really cool. I'm really excited about this. We have this introduction to business building, which is the first thing that you want to look at when you get to your checklist. So that looks like this. It's a blog post and it has all the FAQs in order with a link to each topic. So you can link directly to these blog posts just by going through the list here. Of course, they're also listed in the menu on the right. So you can leave a reply or a question to any of these blog posts. It'll all have an option here for you to talk to say something if you have a question that you want to be public for other people to benefit from. The next step is download this Builders Toolkit. I'm really excited about this. So the toolkit looks like this. We have the books that, there's two books that we want you to read, which I've already talked about, Working with the Law, and then The Science of Getting Rich. And I really advocate these books because they help format your mindset into an abundance, positive, attraction mindset. So if you have hangups over whether you deserve to have income or whether you deserve something or whether you're worthy or something like that, these books are for you, for sure, because they will help you see things from a very different perspective. Okay, then we have downloads. So below that, you're going to download each of these items, whatever you want to use. If you hover your cursor over them, they'll highlight the instructions and description of what they are, like that, so you can see what it is and then what the intention I had for that or why I'm giving it to you. So you have everything. I mean, this is everything that's in there. You have a welcome letter that you can copy. So if you want to send an email welcome to people when they enroll. You have a little booklet on how to use their oils plus some recipes to get them started while they're waiting for their kit to come, or use the samples that you give them or something like that. There's a top oils guide, plus there's membership information. That's this one here. There's a builder planner, so something that can help you organize your building and how you want to approach your business. There's a mentor checklist, something for you to use with your mentor or to use with those that you are mentoring. And that helps keep the conversation on track so that you're not going off on tangents on topics that really should be focused in that conversation. And then we have trifold brochures that we get from Lisa Zimmer, the top 10 oils, spa professionals, fitness professionals, medical professionals. These are things that you can put your information on, like a business card, and give it to people like it's a business card, but it's a brochure, and they've got this great information to read, and it can be used for their specialties here. If you have a document editor like an Adobe or there's some other things online I can't think of off the top of my head, but you can, take that information and then translate it, copy it, translate it into that block. I can help you with that if you need help with that. I have a class script, so if somebody wants to teach something right away and they don't have somebody to help, there's a class script that they can follow. I've got a couple of budget-friendly enrollment options here for those that, the 100 PV is just way too much, but we still want to get them enrolled. So if they can't do the 100 PV, then there's a 55 enrollment offer or some other options here in these pages. Also hostess rewards. So you want to reward people that are hosting a class for you, even though they might not want to build themselves, but reward them. So give them some options here that they can look at that might interest them in getting free products for hosting classes for you. And then we have a social media content calendar. This is just a very, very simple, a handout for just how to organize your social media posts, how to do the posts, where to put them, what to say, and who to target, and how to find topics and things like that. So it's very basic, but also a very great place to get started. And then we have some goodie bag cards. So these are cards that I get. This is also a Lisa Zimmer option. She has a lot of success using this, and we've started doing it as well. I've always done goodie bags, but I've not done it with purpose. And these are goodie bags with purpose. So these are things that you include into a goodie bag, samples of whatever. There's some options on here. You can put all of them in or just a few of them in, it's up to you. And there's a description on how to use them. And then your new enrollees have some fun things to use while they're waiting for their kit to ship to them. And it also helps them learn to use oils that are not in the kit that they get. That exposes them to other products that they can then feel motivated to buy later on after they've used it and now that they know what it's for. There's a couple of blends that we put in there that have been really useful. There's drawing slips here if you want to do drawings for events or classes that you're holding. We have a top 10 oils chalkboard sign. So it's just, top 10 oils and their basic benefits. So it's just a nice visual aid. And then this is a how to find prospects and use magic words to speak to your prospects. So if you're struggling with how to approach people or how to talk to people, this is a really good handout to follow because it kind of helps formulate how to speak to people so that it reaches them in a way that gets them interested and motivated. And then there's an enrollment form. This is just a customized enrollment form. It's generic. You can take it with you anywhere and use that. Carry them with you so you can enroll people on the spot. So when you're out and about, you have something available that you can put their information down and put in the computer for later. And then last is the goal sheet. So these sheets are basically for the year. So you can pull one out or print one out and write out some of the goals and ideas that you have that you want to accomplish in your business or in your life in general for the year. So all you have to do is just click on these to download them to your computer. And so you can download each of these by just clicking the image. And then hover over it if you want to understand more about what this is, and it'll give you the just instructions and direction for what to do. And then the last thing in the Builder's Toolkit is the Trello registration. So we're moving everybody into Trello that wants to use it because it's such a useful tool for organizing your business. And then I will be working with you, probably one-to-one. We might do some, weekly Trello trainings as well. The more we get, the more people involved in that. So I can help you organize your cards and your boards so that it's working for you in the most efficient way. Do you have a comment?
No, just one.
Okay. All right, moving forward. Okay, the Builder's Toolkit. I guess that's somewhere here. Oh, that's what it is. Okay, I'm sorry. So this link, this button takes you to here where you will register for the Trello. Basically, you're giving me your information and I create the account for you and give you the password. That way I can easily copy the boards, the templates that you need rather than struggling with you logging in first. So if I create the account and set everything up for you, then it's ready to go, and then I can just hand it to you and say, okay, it's ready, there you go. So it'll be much easier that way. So that's why I have you go this way to do it rather than go straight to Trello. Okay, the FAQ pages. So FAQs are in the group also, but they're also in our website. So from the menu FAQs, they're by topic. These are the most commonly asked questions in doTERRA. This is for all doTERRA users, product users. This is not business related, although there are some sharing questions and things like that in the list as well. But as you have people come into your team that have these questions, you can refer them to these FAQs rather than take so much time trying to explain everything to them. So that's the purpose. It might be more efficient for you to just tag them in the post in Facebook, but it's also available on the website if they're not on Facebook. And there's some free downloads here for them as well, if to help. It's the same, recipes and membership tips and top 10 oils uses, just things to help them get started right away and explore the product catalog. Then we have our team portal. So this is where all of our reference pages are. So this is the team portal, and you'll notice I revamped it a bit. So we have flags and buttons, and the flags I have linked to the Facebook groups or websites that I know of. So if you click on the UK, Linda, right now that's going to your Facebook group, your Team Uplift group.
Yeah.
And English, if you click on English, I'll be uploading. I haven't done a lot of this yet because I'm still moving things around, but I have under these buttons are your area's resource pages. So any resources that you want for your area, send them to me so I can upload them here. So if you have, in Denmark, if you guys have 150 uses for the Family Essentials Kit or something like that in your language, or something that you want people to have access to, I can post it in this, underneath this button in that page. So, and you can go to any country you want, because maybe you have somebody that you're talking to that is in Poland or in Czech Republic or wherever. And it might be useful to have some tools there to share with them. So,
does anyone have any questions so far from the things that Colin's covered? So Linda said, oh, it's okay, that's separately.
Okay, so about the Lisa Zimmer, I've actually had a conversation with her, Linda. We're allowed to share the trifolds and things with our team for you to use for yourself. But if you're going to be using them to give to your team as a tool for your team, she wants you to purchase it that way. So you can purchase it to share with your team as well. But so that's how it works. And they are, we're not allowed to post it publicly as well, which is why it's on our, our password protected team pages here.
So we can use them as leaders, but we're not allowed to give them to our teams. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, it's basically, I bought it. I bought them,
Right.
and I'm allowed to give them to my team members to use for them.
Okay. I just noticed the new ones were there, you see, and I thought, are you allowed to do that? But
She wants you to, if you're going to be a builder and use it with your team and give it to your team, she wants you to purchase it yourself, and then you can give it to your team to use, and so on. So kind of, so she has an on, you know, so she's not losing out on.
That's complicated though, isn't it? Because Renata and Leslie are here.
And there's
And
no
if
way
my
to regulate it either. So
if my other team members had been involved tonight, then they would have had access to them as well. So they do they, or not?
Yeah, they do. So
They do,
anybody
okay.
can ask. So I'm giving it to everybody in the team to use for themselves.
That's fine,
If
no
you want to
problems.
pass it on, then you can purchase it from Lisa Zimmer and use it that way. But
Okay.
I don't know how you can regulate how you're going to use it once I give it to you. So how would you use it? It's very, I don't know, semantics. You just do what you feel good about. I'm giving it there as an option. It is a useful tool, but you know, she's not the only one who can create a trifold. So, okay. So the gray buttons, I call these LOD pages or LOD resources here. This is the language of destination is what that stands for. That's confusing.
Yeah, it is kind of.
Okay.
Move on.
All right. Okay. Now our Facebook group. So our VIP group. Just a couple of things I want you to know exist. One is the units. The units are really important because that is where our online tutorials and classes are, and there's a lot of information there. Announcements, you want to check those because I'll start putting announcements there so that I do this a lot in my classes with school. They get an announcement every week, you know, for what's coming up. So I'll start doing some announcements regularly so it doesn't get lost in the discussion feed. And then events, any scheduled events coming up for our VIP group is going to be here. And then files. So check out the files because there's lots of good downloads there as well. This is the units lesson. So underneath the units here, this is what it sort of looks like. There's unit 2, there's a ton of things, but this is so great because it's a class for new people or for anybody to just go and just learn all of these important things. And guess what? I got all of this information from the book that you are sent when you enroll, that nobody ever opens up and looks at. So the book that comes with the enrollment kits is where most of this information comes from. So we have a welcome to doTERRA, how to get started, the top 10 oils and products, a bit about emotional aromatherapy, bestsellers and team favorites I stole from you guys that you talk about, how to purchase oils or how to purchase on their account, how to share doTERRA, wellness consultations, testimonials, some tools and references, and then the FAQs. So this is very valuable information. So check it out, go through it, even if you just skim through it because you know a lot of this information already, but just know what's there so that you can refer people to it. And these are posts, regular Facebook posts, you just click on it. And you can see I've got a little green dot there, green check mark. That means it marks your progress through it so I can see where my progress is so I don't have to go back and search where I left off. I just can find it. And when you log into the page here, it'll tell you, hey, do you want to continue with unit 1 where you left off? And then you can do that. So it's quite useful, but get to know what's there, and then you can tag people in those posts. Yes, Linda.
Sorry, I'm being a nuisance, but it's a long time since I've actually seen what arrives in an enrollment, a newly enrolled person. What book are you talking about?
They used to have those big folders full of handouts and whatnot.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And now they've consolidated it into it's like a really skinny book.
How do we find out what that is? Can we get hold of one?
Yeah, go.
I wouldn't know where that was.
Well, we have that Home Essentials kit on the landing. Maybe it's in there. There might be one on the landing.
I have it here.
Oh,
Look,
you have it?
Oh, you have one. Who has one?
Jana.
Okay.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah. Okay. Ah,
And
okay.
you can buy it. It costs, I think, 4.5 euros or something. It's quite cheap and it's excellent.
Right. Okay. Thanks, Jana.
The book is very good. You don't need any other tool than that. They have everything in their hands with that book. And of course, now we have it on Facebook. Okay, in the builders group, did you?
Yeah, and units or modular, as they call them in Denmark. Thanks for that, Malena, that translation. Units are
Modules.
used, yeah, units are used predominantly in every successful network marketing company. This is the place where you take your new people to, and they go through those unit lessons or modular lessons. In here, we've got 1 to 11. You start them off, you get them straight on here, and they can follow a set format, and it takes care of it. It saves you having to do it, you know, face to face with them. They can go on here and you can see exactly where they're at, step 1, step 2, step 5, and they can be asking questions along the way. So these are really important. If you want to be successful with your new members, you need to have your new members get on these units, these unit lessons, and take it all the way through to number 11.
No, the great thing with Facebook and why we like this so much is that it doesn't matter what language, because it has that see translation option at the bottom of each post, so you can translate, or you know, you have control over translating what it is.
Mm-hmm. Which is what I do with the Danish group in Sweden. I just click translate so I can see what you guys are doing out there, and you're not just having fun, that you're actually working as well, Marianne.
How do you find out with your team members where they're at with the?
Oh, with the progress with this?
Yeah. Yeah.
I can see it. You'll just have to ask me.
Okay.
I can see it because I created the group, so.
Okay.
You get a notification?
No, I can just look on their name and it tells me, you know, how far they've gone with the check marks.
Okay.
So I can see that. If I add admins here and make you guys admins, that might help, but I don't know if it will or not for sure. But also, you guys have power just to add people. You don't have to wait for me to do it or have them do it themselves. You can add them into the group yourself if you want. Okay, are we good? So
good question though, Cheryl.
Yeah, same thing going forward. So builders group, it's designed the exact same way. We have a units lessons there, announcements, events for just the builders, and then files access. Those are the 4 things I care about that you know. In the units class, the units lessons, I will be adding to this, but for now I have business FAQs, which we also saw those on the website, remember? But in these FAQs, this is what the questions are, and they're really good. And honestly, this is pretty much what you need to know to get started and get moving in your business. So we have a business building introduction. We have how to upgrade a wellness advocate, doing doTERRA as a business or a hobby. What does that look like? Wanting commissions or free oils, sharing tips and compliance, how to do a 60-second enrollment. What are the Facebook groups for? So just a little orientation. How to launch your business, how to create a Facebook event, make and take classes. Anyway, you can read through these and so on. So check them out and be familiar with what is here so that you can, when someone comes to you with a question, you can say, I know exactly where that is. I'm going to tag you in this post so you can read about it yourself. And then if they have further questions, they're not, you know, the conversation is more productive for you rather than you taking up so much time to just get them oriented to some of these basics. It also teaches them how to do this. So they will become independent in their business rather than relying on you for every little thing. And as a lot of you are finding out, you can't be everywhere at the same time. You can't be everywhere for everybody. So we need to help people learn to be independent from the beginning. Okay, and the last thing is the events group. Same thing. We have announcements, events, and units. So the units I'm doing differently here. So basically what will happen is with every event that happens in this group, I will pull those posts and create a unit out of it so that you can just search in the units for the topics of those events. So coming up, we have Master Your Metabolism. After that goes in this event, in this group on the 21st of January, when that finishes, I will take all of those posts and consolidate them into a unit and call that unit Master Your Metabolism. And then when you click on units, you'll be able to see the Master Your Metabolism topic and see everything in there that is pertinent to that topic. So we'll be building that as we go. Okay, anybody have any questions? It's a lot of information, but it's all good stuff.